Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we're going over the brand new V-Jump promo that got revealed tonight. 3 weeks ago, middle of August, they showed this card's artwork and they told us kind of the vibe of it. It's supposed to be helping with normal monsters and decks that play them, so they announced that it was going to have some synergy with Blue Eyes. We also thought, also pretty good timeline, that the fact that they just kind of came out with Primordial's first wave of support, and they're probably going to get more in Supreme Darkness, so makes a lot of sense there. It's a level 8 dragon. It should have some good Blue Eyes synergy, but let's see what we have here. So this is Dragolithia Kunzite. It's a level 8 Earth Dragon monster. 0 attack, 0 defense. You can only use this card's first or second effect per turn, and only once that turn. Better be pretty good then. If this card is in your hand, you can send one level 7 or higher normal monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card. Important to note that that does not send for cost, that is as effect, so if this card gets ashed, it doesn't really do anything. I mean, at least you don't use this card because he doesn't, or you don't lose this card because you don't have to discard it to activate, but your opponent can still ash this or something and then it not resolve. You at least keep it in hand as discard fodder or something else, but yeah, for the most part, that shouldn't be the worst thing in the world, I guess. But still, not a bad effect, to be honest. Jumps out of the hand really easily, whether you have a Blue Eyes, for example, in deck, or even if you draw it, it's still not dead. You do have to give up an extra card in hand, but it does just jump on the board as a level 8. That's not the worst thing in a deck like that. Second effect reads, you can banish this card from your graveyard to target a normal monster in your graveyard as cost. Special summon it in defense position. That's another effect that's also not the worst. Now, here's where I get hung up on this card. I get it. Konami has kind of long since gone away from making V-Jump promos legitimately strong cards. The last one I remember being a legitimate card that's all play in a competitive deck is Diviner of the Herald. And then prior to her, there was kind of a break between there was a long while since the last time we got a good V-Jump promo. The days of Linkuriboh and Summon Sorceress in the V-Jump promos is long gone. They do not make those cards anymore. But let's be honest, was this card really that broken if it could have used both of its effects in the same turn? I really don't think so. I right before this video started, I gave these effects just a quick read, and I was like, oh, okay, that's actually a nice little card. And then literally the last thing I realized was this, that the fact that they're not just hard once per turn, you can only use one of its 2 effects a turn. You cannot use both, and that really restricts this card. I mean, listen, you're going to use the first effect turn 1 pretty much every time. I can't imagine how you're even trying to get this card engraved without, first using its first effect to get it in rotation. But a reborn of a vanilla, later, I get it. This first effect's decent because strategies that just like Blue Eyes, like Red Eyes, like Dark Magician or whatever, that just kind of already want their vanillas in rotation. That's already a bonus, and it jumps on the field, so it's a body plus getting a card the deck wants in rotation. That's fine, but this is 2024, dude. Why could this card not do both of those things in the same turn? I really don't get it. If they could actually do both of these things, then this card I actually might have looked at this card oh, and you get a body later on? That's nice. This card's actually kind of spicy. And very quickly shut me down. So again, I'm not gonna shit on this card too hard. It's a V-Jump promo. Konami tends to not make V-Jump promos that crazy. I just happen to think this card still wouldn't have been that crazy, even if it could do both effects in the same turn. So I don't know why they restricted it so hard. They just did not have to really restrict this card from doing what it wants to do to its best ability, with its own card text. But it's a tough one, but it may not be the worst card in the world. It's still a 1-for-1 body that just jumps on the field as a level 8 extender in something like Blue Eyes, which is good. Even other decks could, well, there's not that many decks that, because the problem is he doesn't modulate his level or anything. So in something like Red Eyes maybe could still work because he's still a dragon. So you could still go into Dragon Link type situations, use him to make Heavenly Spheres, stuff like that, while sending Red Eyes. But Dark Magician, I don't think he really works that well in, because he's that's a spellcaster strategy, and he's 8 instead of 7. So he doesn't set you up for Exceed plays. He's not the right type to do like other spellcaster stuff like he does with the dragons. So he's a little weird. Like maybe he has a weird home in Red Eyes, but I don't know. This card could have maybe been something we look at if he could use both effects in the same turn. But I think I'm just finding that he feels just super underwhelming for 2024 standards without both effects in the same turn. But that's just me. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Again, I'm also not a like super well-versed Blue Eyes or Red Eyes player, so if you are a deeper fan of those decks and you know the ins and outs of how those decks work, like is this card, even with the restriction it has on its effects, like is it still maybe worth considering in those decks? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that based on like what Blue Eyes and Red Eyes need, but you guys let me know down below. But I'm out of here for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned for all things Yu-Gi-Oh news going forward, and I'll bring it to you then. See you in the next one. Peace.